Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Beaumont Weekly. Today, we're looking at buying this property. Got the kids with us today.
Oh, mate, it's massive.
Yeah, are you charging people like £9 to source for a buy-to-let?
I think it's, bait a lid on a piece of wood and take it up the arse, mate.
Now, if you're new to the channel, we are property developers based in the UK, and every week we vlog what it's like to run this kind of business behind the scenes. We do construction, we do the developments, we do the project management, we do the lettings and management. We've got a team of 30 full-time staff, 50 indirect staff, and we show all the trials and tribulations of running this type of business, taking on projects like this. So subscribe, enjoy, peace. So we're wrapped up here now. We've looked through the whole building, the externals. We looked at as much of the loft as we could possibly look at. I've looked in the basement. We know what we can get out of this building because we've mocked up floor plans already, but what we do want to explore is what we can do here with this extension. There's the two lofts to look at where, based on the ceiling heights we've got, certain we can get a central staircase and then wings off each side for studio or one-bed flats. So we'll run a load of different appraisals. The main appraisal we'll be running is using everything we can see, the existing superstructure, what units can we get out of it. That's how we're going to crunch our numbers based on the purchase price that we'll offer. Everything else is a bonus, and we'll run different variable scenarios for extension works out the back, loft conversions. The basement I don't think is going to be tenable, just doesn't stack up unless you're in really high value areas, even though it literally only needs a foot and then it's worth it, but may then have to underpin and it's damp down there and it might just be a ball ache. Very good property. They're asking for 250 guide price. I think we can shave a bit off that. They've not got a lot of interest in it. It's a good site, but it's an awkward site in terms of just the build up of the building. It's not like a typical shape. This is going to be quirky to get our head around, but that's fine because we have a floor plan to work with already.
And the question is in the loft, whether this needs a whole new roof or if we've got the space to convert the two existing roofs, or if we need to put on a whole new roof to gain an extra floor there, which usually it's hard to make stack.
And I think we want to buy this sub 200. Is my instinct, just to save as much margin and room as we can for the build out. But quick win is we got a terraced house there we can convert to two apartments real easy, straightforward. Loft conversion should be relatively straightforward if we want to do it because the roof's already in good nick. We'll just be punching through for daylight and just dropping a structural floor like we do in our HMOs. It's pretty easy. It feels right, feels good. And we're literally like a short drive to the beach. You can see the sea from the front. We've got a graveyard and a church opposite, so no one's going to build on that. That's going to be safe and a nice view for a long time. We're surrounded here by fields, houses there. This is going to stay pretty untouched. It's be a nice offering.
See if the numbers that we've assumed based on what we stacked up on a desktop stack up in real life when we have a proper wander around. But it's quirky property, so here we go.
Wow. Hello. Are we recording? And we're back! We're here with Mr. J and Matthew. So we are on a street and we've got the end property there. There's a commercial conversion, full planning, everything signed off now, going through financing, got the valuation in, got the value we wanted. We got a £917,000 GDV. Amazing. It's worth absolutely piss all right now. But this here's a buy-to-let. And we're here today to check on progress and to shoot some more ads. What we figured that might be a good idea is to film ads that are kind of like Q&As, because we get asked quite a lot of questions online. And obviously we answer all those things within our funnel and on calls and stuff, but sometimes people don't get that far because they don't know the answer to the questions that they think might be quite pertinent for them. So we thought we'd run an ad campaign where we just answer questions. So I'll read out a question. How hands-off is your buy-to-let service really? Or is that just a sales line? And then go, this is the answer. Well, John, the honest answer is, it's a sales line, and it's true, so why wouldn't we use it as a sales line? We can use that in our retargeting. Going through white coating at the moment, very standard. Pulled out the old gas fireplaces, always do, no point keeping them in. If this is the loft roll, we always make sure the loft is up to 300 mil. This is an easy win on the EPC rating. We had to chop up this kitchen a bit, just to make it cleaner, get this hood over here instead. We didn't want to have to do it, so this is an extra cost we've incurred. Didn't pass it on to the client. We were retaining the carcasses because they're in good nick. When we changed this worktop, we noticed in the back, some of the carcasses had rotted out, even though they're fine at the front, so we had to replace a couple. And then we have the bathroom, cladded. This isn't like a premium area, so there's no point tiling it. We won't get any more rent for it. And also this is way easier to maintain, no grouting issues, nothing like that. And it looks fine. Keep it simple, stupid. We've got 22 buy-to-lets on the go. So this is ramped up pretty quickly, which is good. The more scale we have, some people hear the numbers of sites we're on sometimes, and they're like, that's a lot of sites to be managing, but it's like, actually, that's better for us because it means we can afford better preliminary coverage. So we can have the back office staff, the admin buyers, all those sorts of things. There's a lot of sourcing agents out there where they're really just like two guys that just go and find properties from agents and charge exorbitant fees. And I just don't think that's a business. Yes, we do the same thing on that front end, but then we've got the infrastructure to manage a really hands-off service, which is not comparable to anyone out there in the market, which I like. I know we're the market leader now. When it comes to doing hands-off development services for people, there ain't anyone in the market who's doing it the way we're doing it. We have a sourcing department, but we have then the conveyancing department, the designs, the pre-construction, the construction management, the on-site management, the back end, the financial department, the lettings management, and the maintenance. It's a full stack business, like where we're really it's like a manufacturing facility. But I hear people say it sometimes, they're like, so you guys are like a sourcing agent? I'm like, you can say that, but that isn't what we are. We're a development business that has a sourcing division, but there's a lot of other companies who just do that and they charge more than us. I've seen some of the fees people are charging. I'm like, are you charging people like £9 to source for a buy-to-let? You're getting ripped off, mate. One guy said, but apparently the justification for a £9 fee on a buy-to-let, excluding VAT, was that, oh yeah, but we can get loads of uplift on the properties we buy because we're so good at buying. So actually, you're not really feeling the £9 fee because you're getting the uplift on the equity in the property. And it's like, that's some bullshit justification. If you're so confident on that fee, then half the fee, half up front, fair enough, cover your base, cover your risk, charge the other half on the back end once you've delivered on the KPIs you forecasted. Sharks out there, sharks in the water. Did I tell you about this AI guy I've got working for the business now?
Yeah, you mentioned him last week.
So I did the initial script, took me 2 days, and then I did one yesterday, which is basically anything that's come up in the last 7 days. And that took me half an hour. So while I was having a sandwich at lunchtime, I took them well, and that was the only thing that popped up. As long as I stay on top of that, it's actually not a massive piece of work.
The address, the property link, the purchase type. What's happening is it's going to drop in stuff that roughly suits our requirements, and then all we need to do is go click link, open it up. Does it look good? And then we can either go to status and go dead, or we keep it and run it through.
But do we need to populate the cell to do that?
Yeah, as long as the agent's in there at some point.
They'll remember
it. If it's like the same agents again, it'll just come up again.
Only if they're still there. I think.
Right, unless we've archived it, I killed it.
Yeah.
Look at half a dozen and work out the average.
So we could have the automation do that.
Well, yeah. It forces you to go and do a bit of DD, which is not a bad thing anyway. Go and look at what's sold.
Yeah.
And if you're buying a 5-bed HMO and you're paying £75 a square foot, well, that's the value of housing in that area.
Yeah.
That might be the way to do it.
Yeah. On Buzz's Bar, on a school trip, got the kids with us today. We are here to do a bit of an update, to have a look around and grab Jeffrey, because we're going over to another site where we've got a load of excess material from all the local sites around here, and we need to do a bit of a stock take and figure out where we're going to put those materials next. So the existing floor, we've fireboarded the whole thing, and then we're dropping in a new MF ceiling, or Castelline ceiling. We've tape and jointed all the joints so that it's as sealed as possible, no gaps. It's doing two things, one for the acoustic test, two for fire. We'll drop in another ceiling here. That's then going to essentially just be a sterile void, so we can run all of our M&E, penetrations, everything can run through there, and it's not disrupting the divide between this floor and the top floor, makes sense? Yeah. But here, we don't have it. Why? Why would we not do it here, but do it there? Concrete. So it's concrete floor here, so we didn't need to do it because it's already got the fire provision. Whereas those that's all wooden floor. We've obviously got the ventilation we had to put in as well, so that was forgotten on the drawings. But if we'd have had these voids in here and on the first floor with no cross ventilation, you end up getting loads of moisture build up and everything, and mould and damp, and it gets awful. Hello. All right, geezer.
How's it going?
Mate, what? There's like multiple rooms in here. Mad. So we'll end up pulling these out because this is one big bathroom, but they've essentially created 2 cubicles and a nice little sink setup. This is site welfare and office. These guys will use this for food, for planning, drawings, Ram's health and safety, shit like that. And then this will end up being kitted out last in the scheme. Just means we get multiple use out of it. Look at him. Jumbo wall is half done. So you can see this now, this is the natural divide between the 8-bed HMO and the apartments. We've got more window openings in. We've got our extension opening. I know what he's done there. So he's opened this out wider. Remember I spoke about the issue before? We were going to pull out that glazing. We're thinking, take all this out, this whole window, get a telehandler in, lift up the pallets up through here. He must have figured we could get the telehandler up and into here, even though we've got the footings down there. Don't know how he's going to do that. Little holy. Woohoo. So yeah, these are the rest of our penetrations for the soil stacks up here from these HMO rooms. Dropping in this first set of the ceiling here, we insulate all of this ceiling. Then we'll drop in our void for all the services. We're trying to be careful of the render on the outside of this building. The render is not in a good shape. We really don't want to have to re-render the whole thing because it's a huge detached building. There's a lot of surface area to cover. So ideally, we were hoping we could restore it initially. Don't think we could. Then we were thinking maybe we could trip it all off rather than re-render, paint it all up. Maybe that's a better way, just paint the brickwork. It's actually unknown still what we're going to do. So we are going with Jeffrey to St Paul's, another project they were doing for a client. But it was our site, and we actually sold it to him because we were doing this one and we got 2 of our own other sites and we'd already got planning on the other one. We had a choice really, and this new client came along and said, have you got any 20, 30 apartment schemes? I was like, I don't have any 30s, but I do actually have a 17 unit scheme that we would be happy to shift for the right price, because then we're just not taking on as much short-term debt with all these other schemes we've got going on internally for our own portfolio. It made sense to shift that one on and do it as a service instead. And we just shift the material around and out of there because we need to get it into here. It's overgrowing a bit, all that fun stuff. So here is a load of excess gear.
I think somebody needs to put their hands up and go, I've made a little mistake here.
Yeah.
These are the things you can't use.
Yeah, that was Kane, that. There's some supplier closing down and they were like, get all these bathrooms, and it's like,
And what
if we don't
monster's gonna
need
buy
them,
these?
yeah, exactly.
Because they're not even white.
Yeah.
You can't even try them. So I think it's, you know, bite a lip on a piece of wood and take it up the arse, mate. Get a skip. What do you do with it? Unless you can find another bonehead to buy it.
I mean, can we not get them in HMOs?
Yeah, you can put them in if you like, but they're going to be cream, and they're the tripping hazard ones.
Yeah, a bit chunky, aren't they?
No, they're just nightmare. And the small drain hole plugs as well. The ceramics or the brake, you know. I don't know why you've got so many fans and whatnot, but the fronts are missing off them. So it becomes useless because you can't buy a front. And you've got all these switches, black ones and silver ones.
Yeah.
But the trouble is when you're buying stuff like this, they become obsolete very quick because they change the patterns so quick. So yeah, you can use them, but they're not going to match in with your sockets that you're going to use.
Yeah, yeah.
You haven't got the sockets to match. There's a load of trays and a load of
Screens. There's a big puzzle piece.
It is.
Like Tetris. Let's do that then. We'll off the screens, off the trays,
Yes.
keep whatever is possible to reuse.
Right.
And then maybe we can get cut up to do an inventory take, or you just know what's here sensibly and just go,
Yeah.
look, that'd be useful on HMO. We'll use that on buzzers.
Yeah, well,
and kill it off.
I'll force it on to the trades
Yeah,
as they
sweet.
come in. I'll take all the plumbing fittings onto that site, for instance, because I'm going to form and sell an office shortly, and I'll make sure they use them as their order, and I'll see what they've ordered before the orders are bought.
Yeah.
Got these, got them, got them, got them, got them.
Try and find out what the call's like.
Yeah,
and
will do,
then,
yeah.
You see, the trunk with the tree is completely just like a trunk. It's nothing grown on it. And
Hey. Hey. Got a beautiful men here, Clive and Shane, and we are going to be going through repricing the job. I think I explained it earlier. So a job we're doing for a client, the end user is the NHS, and they've got certain specs and they keep changing their mind and stuff. So we need to go and reprice it again to account for the different specs that they need and the floor plan layout, where we're moving a bathroom now and putting that somewhere else, and then doing a decking feature outside and new fence panels and shit. So we just need to make sure all of that's itemised properly. So we're going to go through, hash all that out, because that's quite a big job to go at. It's about, I think it end up being about 80, 90 grand package. So quite a big package. I want to make sure it's right, and we'll get that issued, and then we can get back on site and start chewing through that one. So happy days. So this is from our meeting with them, and then from the feedback that they gave, when I sent these floor plans to them, they came back with some feedback, and I've tried to add in their feedback. Top floor is pretty straightforward. It's essentially going to be residential upstairs, just this room, rather than having a bed in it, is going to have a living room in it and a kitchen along the back. So it's downstairs where a lot of the spec is going to be different, because upstairs we don't need to worry about padding the bathroom or doing the safety stuff for the radiators and all that sort of shit. Nice to meet you, mate. Ryan. Hello, sir. So you imagine this ground floor. I'm having a bad hair day today. It's a very boy band comment, but I've got to shoot ads later. There's a 1-bed apartment down here. Maybe have to redo the stairs. So we knock through to the kitchen diner. Here's your bedroom. Stick your bathroom there. Kitchen diner through there. This stays communal. Then we can keep the stairs in situ. But the stairs aren't too efficient. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen diner. Knock it through. Make it nice. Or maybe 2-bed, feels a bit tight. Is that a bedroom in there? Oh shit! Okay, it's a bit bigger actually. Yeah, 2 bed, isn't it?
All day long.
2 bed upstairs, 1 bed downstairs. Kitchen diner in here, knock this out.
Yeah, kitchen down in there, you pull all that crap out, you get
Yeah.
like 6 foot.
Good sound. Now we go into the main building.
It's like old super room and bar.
Big old tape. We've got one of these in St Paul's. I mean, yeah, these are kind of as assumed on those plans. You've got like a 1 bed there, a studio here that could be a deeper floor plate. Like, it would work.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
So here's another bedroom. So this could be a 2 bed potentially. You imagine you got maybe kitchen diner here, bedroom in there, bedroom this side, access for a corridor there, bathroom in the middle, and then build this back up. And then you'd have a central corridor in there, knocking into a deeper studio here. Is that stud? Yeah, it is. They've kept this pillar, haven't they? So we're in the centre of the building right now. So what we would do is knock through there, which is stud. And then this would be the main circulation corridor that services the wings of the apartments. And then we could get into the loft here, stairs go up the side, and then we can get 2 more units in the loft off each wing. There's kitchen diner. So yeah, imagine that corridor keeps coming through. And then here, you've got another studio, serviced by 1 main window. There is a side window, but I don't know if we'd keep that. And then you'd have kitchen deep with a bathroom, bedroom, living out the front. Toilets in here. That's whether we would keep this single story or knock it down to build a bigger wing. That then goes through to the exit. Then you got toilets and storage and whatnot. But there's another studio. I've measured all this up and there is another studio. And then here's the other wing. Ooh, a bit mouldy, bug it out.
Yeah, it's not nice, isn't it? That floor has seen better days.
That has seen better days, innit?
He said that. He said. Yeah, it's
This is 2 bedrooms, you know? You could have 2 little kids' bedrooms here. Or just a big kitchen diner or something. We're looking to see if we can get in the loft, or at least look at the loft. But what's probably happened is when they've retrofitted the bar in here, they've probably just dropped the suspended ceilings and the hatch is hidden. Oh, mate.
It's massive.
It's massive. Having a little wander. So, unfortunately, head height. I mean, it's not far off, but like that might be. Because the actual floor for the building, on the ground floor, is raised up. So, you can see the daylight through there if I go like that. You see that? Head height. But it's still about a foot out from where we would need it. That's without the floor build-ups as well. Because the building's raised, you can see how high where that side hatch is. There could be a whole floor down here. Maybe 3 units from what I can see so far. Put in a pre-auction offer, and if they don't accept it, then we'll let it run the course, because I don't think someone's gonna pick this up for 250 plus. I think it's too much risk in it for anyone who's running an appraisal with this much information, because we'd really want to strip it out to see that loft condition if we wanted to pay more for it. If we can get the loft as easy as we think we can get the loft, then paying 250 is probably fine. But if there's more complications to it, that structural could become really expensive. So, and the same with this rear area here. So we've had a good knock around here with our good friend Simon, who's leaving now, and he's our architect and non-executive director. He's a part of the business. We're just seeing what can we do with this property. Now, we've done a desktop appraisal. We know what we can get out of it, a good number of units, and there's not really much competition. The only other viewers they've had are people looking to turn it into like a community hall for like hipsters, which is literally what they were sort of talking about. So I don't think we're going to be competing with many people. It's really looking at the cost feasibility. But internally, if we just stick within the superstructure, we can get really good units out of this. It's a deep building. It's about 2,000 square meters, some of that not usable space. We could get up into the loft flow, and it's got parking all the way around, beach just down the road. This sort of graveyard, a church opposite, which I know sounds morbid, but it means no one's ever going to build on that, so the view will remain untouched. It's a nice spot, really nice spot, and we're picking up more and more of these sites now. We're doing loads of appraisals on these bigger ones as we build the pipeline and are offering to investors who want to do bigger apartment schemes. That's where we're taking the business. Grow, grow, grow. Love, love, love. Peace, peace, peace. Subscribe. See you next time.